Now let's see this statement. Every student in this class has taken the course operating system. Now I want to express this statement using the quantifiers as well as the propositional function. Now whenever you want to write anything in propositional function, you are supposed to introduce a variable. After introducing a variable, then only we can go with the function, right? So how can I write it is, let us say I want to write the function like this. X has taken the course operating systems, okay, and let me call it as O of X. Therefore O of X is a propositional function which denotes the propositional statement X has taken the operating system, right? Now how can I represent this particular statement? Every student in the class has taken operating system. Now X has taken operating system, every student in the class has taken operating system. Therefore how can you write it? So for all X, if I write for all X O of X, then it is enough, isn't it? So what does it mean? Every student, for all X means every student has taken operating system course. Just verify it. Every student in the class has taken the course operating system. Now in order to write it as a propositional function, I have introduced this function O of X, where O of X represents X has taken operating system. Therefore for all X, O of X represents every student has taken operating system course. Is it clear for you till this point? Now let us take what about X. So if this is the statement, then what is the domain of X? In this case the domain of X is all the students in the class. So X can be any student in the class, right? So domain is students in the class. So what is that I am talking about? Let us say we have a classroom, and in the classroom we have some students, right? Now X is going to lie only in this classroom. Got it? Therefore every student in the class has taken the course. In order to represent it, I am just using for all X O of X. What if I want to extend the domain? So what if domain is not just the classroom, domain is the entire world? I want to extend it that way, which means if this is the world and these are all the people in the world, then how can you express the same statement? Now every student, every person in the world need not be in the class, but if a person in the world is in the class, then he has taken the operating system. So that is, you might feel that why I am trying to complicate the things. It is so simple, it is over. But the problem is in the exam they are trying to extend the domain to a general universe. They are not talking about the domain about students in the class. That is why I am trying to extend the domain, right? You'll understand it, don't worry, try to follow it, simple. Now how can I put it? So in order to accommodate the extra domain, I am going to introduce one more predicate function. Let us say S of X. Now S of X is nothing but X is a student in this class. Student in this class, right? Now we have got two predicate functions, one is O of X and other one is S of X. Now if I want to extend the domain from just the students in the class to everyone in the world, then how can I write it? So just think about it. If X is a student in the class, then he has taken operating system, isn't it? That is the way it should be written, which means this statement can be written like this: if X is a student in the class, then he has taken operating systems, right? isn't it? So if X is a student in the class, then he has taken the operating system, will have the same meaning as every student in this class has taken the operating system course. Now how can you put it in terms of propositional function is, see this, for all people in the world, if that person, for all people in the world, if that person whom we are talking about, if he is a student in the class, isn't it? If he is a student in this class, then he has taken the course operating system. Check that. For all students for all people in the world, if that person is a student in the class, then he has taken the operating system. So you have to somehow remember this. There will be some questions on this whenever they are talking about every, and whenever we try to expand the domain. Now what is the domain here? It is very important. Earlier the domain was only students in the class. Now what is the domain here? All the people in the world, right? All the people in the world. So this is how the answer should look like. Now in the options you will also see, and you might get confused with one more option. So most of the people, they get confused and they will write this way: for all X, S of X and O of X. So he is a student in the class and he has taken the operating system course, right? Because one other way of writing this statement is, every student in the class has taken the operating system, and this one will have the same meaning if he is he is a student in the class and he has taken the operating system course. But the problem with writing in this way is, just try to understand this, for everyone in the world, for every person in the world is a student in the class and has taken the operating system, which means you are trying to say that every person in the world is a student in the class, which is not right. In case if he is a student in the class, then you can say that. In case if he is a student in the class, then you can say that he has taken the course, operating system course. That is why it is right. In case if he is a student, if he is a student, then he has taken operating system. But then you cannot say that every person in the world is a student in the class and has taken the operating system. See, student in the class and taken the operating system is fine, but when you apply this, what is happening is you are pushing everyone in the world into the class, right? Okay, it might take some time for you to understand this. If you are not able to understand it, remember it blindly. In case if it is given in the exam, whenever you see every, there has to be for all and implies. I am not supposed to say that, to remember it that way, but what can I do? Okay, so you got it? Fine. Now let's try to apply. I'm just extending it a bit. Don't get confused. We go slowly. I'm just trying to extend it a bit. Now if this is the statement, every student in the class has taken operating system is this statement, then what will be the negation of it? Negation of it. Every student in this class has taken operating system. What will be the negation of this? No student in the class has taken operating system. Is it negation? No. Think about it. Every student in the class has taken the operating system. The negation of it should be, there exists at least one student who has not taken operating system. Isn't it? Let's try it. I hope you are getting this, right? Now I want to negate it, which means I want to apply negation to this. So before applying negation to this, let me write this one in the other form, easy form. So what is the other easy form? For all X, negation of S of X or O of X. Now I will try to apply negation to this. If I try to apply negation to this, it will become there exists X. For all will become there exists. And now you have to apply negation to this. Now what does it mean? S of X and negation of O of X. Now try to understand the meaning of this one. Meaning of this one is, there exists at least one person in the world who is a student in the class and who has not taken operating system. I hope you are getting it. What is the meaning of this one? For all people in the world, if that person is a student in the class, he has taken the operating system. What will be the negation of it? If everyone in the class has taken the operating system, what will be the negation of it? There exists at least one person who has not taken operating system course. isn't it? You should understand that, and once you understand that, you can clearly see that this particular statement represents whatever I told you now. There exists at least one person in the world in such a way that that person is a student and he has not taken the operating system course. Got it? So the that is why I have, in the earlier video I have told you that you have to remember this one. If you remember, in the previous video I told you that you have to remember this. For all x, s of x implies p of, the negation is very important. Why is it very important? Is for such statements we are going to use this, right? And what about this one? Yes, coming to the other kind of example, this is one kind of example that might be asked in the exam. I'll take one more example and explain you the next how to use there exists. Okay, fine.
Hi, if you are planning to do masters, then doing masters abroad is better than doing masters in India. I'll give you all the reasons. So, first reason is, out of 1 lakh students who take GATE every year, there are only 500 seats in old IITs. So all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%, and IITs, universities better than IITs, they have very good acceptance rate like 30%, 40%. But all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%. And if you are working hard to get into IIT Bombay's ranking is 177 and IIT Roorkey's ranking is 400. If you are happy to get into IIT Roorkey, then getting into universities better than IIT Roorkey is easier compared to getting into IIT Roorkey. And looking at the salaries for computer science, for software jobs, if you have done your masters in computer science in US, the salaries are ranging from 80 lakhs per year to 1.2 crore per year. So even if you take an average of 1 crore per year, your savings will be much higher than the salaries in India. After taxes and your cost of living, you can easily save 40 to 50 lakhs per year. And in India, the maximum jobs that you get is around 30 lakhs. So your savings will be much greater than the salaries in India. And these are all the services that we provide. University shortlisting. So depending on your profile, we will shortlist what are the universities that you have to apply, and statement of purpose building, and then LOR guidance, and GRE and English test assistance, and education loan assistance. So you don't have to have any collateral, which means without any security, now you can get education loan. Getting education loan is very simple these days, and whatever the amount of fee that you have a range of universities. You can apply for 10 lakh universities, 20 lakh universities, or 50 lakh universities. But whatever it is, you are going to get complete education loan, and you can pay off your education loan in 1 year after you get a job. And then we do visa assistance, mock visa interviews, and then connecting with the university alumni. So now you might ask why we should join Game of Visas. So the answer is we have 90% success rate, 99% success rate. And these are all the destinations that we guide the students to. So we guide students to any country that you want to go. So now it is not just USA. We guide to UK, Germany, Australia, Canada. So we guide students to all the countries. We work with all the destinations. And if you are interested in going abroad, you have to just drop us a message on this WhatsApp number 9494 555 454. Okay, thank you.